Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad SAIFULLAH bin SAPLI and I'm from University Malaysia Sabah, currently taking accounting and in semester 2. So now, today you are with me in interview with my respondent, and our title for today is Effectiveness of e-payment in spending money on daily basis for IPTA or IPTS student. So hello there.
Yeah, hello, Saiful.
Yeah,
So,
can you please introduce a little bit what yourself, please?
okay, sure. My name is Nurul Atira Binti Ahmad Sapian, and I am 22 years old right now. And I'm from Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, but right now I'm living in Kuala Lumpur for my study. And I am a Bumi Putra Sabahan, and right now I'm doing my study in University Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia, UPNM.
Mhm. So let me ask you, are you full-time student or a part-time student?
I'm a full-time student. I'm doing medical course in UPNM.
Wow, interesting. And what year are you in now?
I'm currently in my third year.
Okay, so let me ask you a bit about e-payment system. Are you familiar about with the e-payment system?
Yeah, sure. Very familiar, and I do use it a lot.
So what types of e-payment system that you use currently?
Usually bank transfer, debit card use, or e-wallets, or even digital wallet.
I see. So let me ask you, how often do you use the e-payment system exactly?
I use it on daily basis. Basically, I think more than twice a day.
Wow, you are very spender women, you know. So
Yeah.
where do you usually or maybe often use the e-payment?
Because I'm doing my practical in the hospital, I usually use there because I didn't really brought a lot of cash to the hospital. So I usually use there to pay for my
I
food.
see. So we can say that a lot of students right now is currently using the e-payment because it is a lot more easier for us, better than the physical cash, you know. Am I right? Are
Yeah,
you agree?
yeah, sure. Yes, I agree with that.
So let's get back to the related topic of our today, which is the effectiveness of e-payment in spending money on daily basis, especially for IPTA and IPTS student. So for question number one, do you agree that the e-payment makes life easier?
Yes, I do agree with that because I think nowadays we don't see a lot of people withdraw cash and bring lots of cash going around. So just having e-payment, we could do transfer remotely,
Mhm.
and I don't have to worry about having to withdraw cash every time.
I see. So what do you think about e-payment? Is it convenient for student?
Yeah, I think it's very convenient because like me, I don't really have time to go to the ATM. So usually I just whenever I don't have any cash in me with me, I just pay using my either my debit card or using the e-wallet, something like the bank transfer, because you can see usually all the places now they really do use that and receive virtual payment.
So talking about debit card and also the e-payment itself, do you think e-payment can help you to track your daily expenses?
Yeah, actually, it's very helpful because whenever you use your cards or you use the, for example, the bank transfer, you can see that they will give you records. Usually they give you monthly statement on how much have you spent that month.
Mm.
Instead of going to the ATM, they just give you receipts and then you miss it in a way.
It's time saving, we can say that, right?
Yeah.
So does the e-payment help IPTA or IPTS student to save their budget during university time? What do you think?
Um, Actually, this could be ambiguous, and I think it really depends on the person because talking about saving their budget, I think sometimes people could really they didn't really track the records of spending whenever they use the e-wallet because they didn't see the physical money with them.
Mm.
So they really sometimes they could lose track of spending and they overspend at sometimes. But then usually because they give you the statement, it's usually helpful for you to track on how to spend your money on the next month.
I see. I think let's get into more personal business. Like I want to ask, yourself, Have you
Yeah.
like getting to action that to save your budget during your university time?
Yeah, because living in KL is very expensive. And I didn't really get lots of allowance, and then I
Oh,
have to really plan my budget lah, plan how I need to spend my money on daily basis and how to survive until the next month. If not,
mm.
usually I say the e-wallet, the e-payment really helps me to track on my records for this month, so I can plan for the next month.
Okay, I think that's a great answer. So frankly say, as we know, not all of the student like us manage to apply like the e-payment wallet, have a debit card, something like that. So do you think is the e-payment can be easily understood and really adopted by students?
I think it depends on the locality of the students. Usually in the urban area, in the city area, it's very useful and really readily adopted because most of the shops or more of the vendors are very open to receive e-payments. But then if to be asked is if it easily understood by the student, it really depends on the individuals because some people do understand do pick up on how to use it easily, but some may need assistance. I see.
I see. So talk about the benefit. How does the e-payment benefit the student on spending money? What do you think?
Um, if you see nowadays, most of the e-payment they really try to attract more of their clients
Mhm.
to use e-payment by giving vouchers or giving discountings. So I think this is how the student could benefit from e-payment because they really do give you lots of benefits from the vouchers and things like that, and that really helps you to save on some money on monthly.
Okay, so as you know, talking about our current situation in this country. So before this, we're having like a pandemic things, and right now
Yes.
we are moving towards the endemic, right? So
Yeah.
do you think that the e-payment suits our current situation of spending money?
Yeah. Before this, because of the pandemic, many people opted to use the e-payment because we need to do the social distancing, and
Mm.
many are afraid to be close and even exchange money because of the risk of getting infected by touching. So I think because of that, because of the 2 years of pandemic, we have opted for the e-payment. Many of us right now are very convenient, very comfortable of using it right now, and then I think it really suits our current situation right now with more online shops and businesses, and then many places are already opting for this kind of payment.
Okay, so talking about the endemic and also the pandemic, I think it is related to our government, right? So do you think
Yeah.
that the e-payment voucher given by the government is beneficial for students?
To some extent, yes, but then I see that some vouchers are very hard to understand how to use. The terms and regulations are very, very confusing and very for me sometimes it's not very applicable and easy for the student to use because there are sometimes there are limits, there are how to use it, and then it's not very convenient and very suitable for the student to apply to their spending. That's why I think I'm hoping lah the government could really see in the essence of the students on how they need to use the vouchers or the benefits from the e-payment.
Okay, so let's say maybe the government need to step up their actions towards the student itself because nowadays people are mostly no, especially students using a lot of like not using a lot of physical cash. They are more focusing on the debit card or in payment itself, right?
Yes.
Okay, so move into the last question for today. Do you think the e-payment has a lower risk of spending money than the physical cash?
Personally, I don't think so. So
Okay.
I don't agree with this statement because frankly speaking, from my experience,
Mhm.
whenever I don't have the physical cash, I cannot really track on how much I spent that day. If
Mhm.
I have like 100 notes in my wallet, so I can see today this day today how much I've spent. But instead in e-payment, I just swipe the cards or I just do the QR payment, and then I didn't realize I've probably overspent my budget for the day. That's why
Right.
I don't think it's really lower the risk of spending money. But it really depends on someone if they are very cautious and very careful in spending their money.
Okay, so can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
So are you a e-payment person or physical cash person?
I'm e-payment person. Even though I
Okay.
overspend sometimes, I really like using the e-payment because I don't have to withdraw the money.
Okay, so at the end of the day, we can know that the e-payment itself make life easier for us as a student. And we can say that before this, in the pandemic, student not really use the e-payment itself because they don't have the, how to say, in Malay we say like pendedahan. How to say it in
Yeah.
English?
The exposure.
The exposure for them. So maybe after the pandemic, the students have the exposure itself, so they can use a lot more of e-payment, and that can make their life more easier to pay anything. And I think about the voucher given by the government. Uh, Before this, we got like the Shopee voucher. Do you have it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think
I
the rules.
do receive it, and it's easier before this, but this year
Yep.
it's not very easy to use, and it's very
Yeah.
confusing.
Yep. Some students haven't have any chance to use it at all, but some
Yeah.
students have managed to use. But I think overall we can say that despite all of this happening in our country, the e-payment is very effective on spending money in daily basis, especially for IPTA or an IPTS student. So I think that's all for today, Nurul Atira. Thank you for your time and hope we meet again in the future.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me too.
Bye bye.
Bye.